we don't deal in data because we don't believe in it. But we'll find out that we don't exist alone in the map. We don't. Data drives everything. Details. What happened here? When? How? Represented graphically, that someone in the, how many hours have we spent now? If we want to, we just take the statistics and represent it graphically, and somebody can say, oh, this is actually what a lot of people, how many people slept? How many people, when did they start sleeping? How many people contributed? A class of 20, 30%. How many male, how many female? How many contribute? You understand? That's actually what data will do to you. So the next time they're hosting a meeting like this, they can say, maybe less women, more men, or more men, middle manager, top manager, and all that. So proactive strategies that will always keep our agency ahead of time is what we should clamor on. Now, career development and succession plan. So here is our ladder that we have in the agency. The highest level, maybe my prof asked, who want to be an MD? It's possible. They said they've had 2 or 3% from the workforce rising up to the top. It's possible. It's possible that you're so, giving to your work. You're so giving to your duty that within you, because it has to also come from you. The agency will have their own developmental plan, staff plan for you. Oh, we want to have this class of workforce. They will have that. Even in our political space, who can contest? Maybe somebody with primary 6 certificates. They didn't say people will not go to school at all. So they will always have that hierarchy. But within you as employee, you have to be hungry enough to say, okay, you see that place, I'll be the first, it's possible. Anything can happen at any time. Anything can happen at any time. Opportunities will come. Life are designing to be such in that way. But when that will happen, what manner of man ought you to be? So the few things we've mentioned, like I said, think and put yourself in it. Hey, this thing, I'm not so good in it though. Will you go back and just let it be Sarah? Whatever will be, will be. Or will you go back and take it as a challenge to yourself? No. Give it or take it. I don't know this thing. And I should know it because I need it in my career progression. You go and get it. So that is the young man or young woman or staff. That could be you. That could be me. Whatever cadre that you're in. And you're just climbing. So what is career development? It entails learning new abilities, expanding one's experience base, and cultivating character traits that help workers advance and strive in workforce. The example I made that we were attacked, we had to open the next day. If you're fear that, how will you do? What, will you be able to, push and lead others to work the next day because you were attacked the night before? So that fearlessness as a character trait, you need it. You need to imbibe it, learn it. New abilities, you can't run away from it. When you do nothing, that is how it's still going to be with you. But when you decide to do something, of a truth, I don't really know this, let me not play with myself. Get those new abilities. I've mentioned again and again, you know your job description very well. And within the agency, they actually allow you to move from one directorate to another. Maybe you're eyeing one directorate that will help to promote your own career development. and you have identified those barriers, it's possible to get them. Let me give another example. I turned 50 last year. So when I was 49 years, December, my boys, I had two boys, they came home. My senior said, Mom, you'll be 50. What will you and I be discussing in the next 10 years? You know, that's their generation. In the next 10 years, it will still be more of their generation than ours. Because by then, I'll probably be 60. So the young man is asking, what will the two of us be discussing in the next 10 years? It's not, there will be newspaper again. Just human evolution. So the man wanted to know. Like I said, character traits. I didn't give him a knock. I didn't say this. Hey, Oma, when we turn into last year, you know, there's a way you talk to yourself. New abilities. Expand yourself. This question this boy asked me, I have to be truthful. What will I be discussing with this boy in the next 10 years? I took it up as a personal project. That's what motivated me to go for data analytics. That's it. Because in the next 10 years, truth be told, it will be whose world? Is it my world? It will be theirs. It will be theirs. And the boy, they fear for him. So if you don't have people like that that will kick you into such things, be your own. So in the next 10 years, no shaking. If Jesus doesn't come, NDDC will still be. Where will you be in NDDC if you still have up to that before you retire? It's not a good question. It is. And I went for it. When I went to the class, I was the oldest. Small children. I didn't know it. I didn't get it. My advert is on Facebook. They use my advert. I didn't get it at first. I said, this conk edge, you must get it because that 10 years, if I know where, how relevant. So I'm saying the same thing to you. Whether you'll be in NDDC or not, Shebi, I'm here now. It may be you that will be doing this for any agency in the world. So whether you're male, whether you're female, this thing it's very easy for us to say it to our children. Can you be a child for once and just say it to yourself? That is you. Where will you be? Even in that agency, why the oga is saying it's breathing on you, you wait for your turn. No wala, you wait for your turn. But quietly, but steadily, cultivate yourself. New abilities. So that the time you use for maybe you close by 4. You get home for 5, 6. You've attended to everybody, everything in this world. Your time is free from 7, and you don't sleep till 9. What are you doing for those 2 hours? Leisure time. What are you doing? So you see, all these things they've been talking, you can now visit them one after the other and have a methodical approach. Remember we mentioned it, to it. The shared objectives as an agency is this. I'm in this. I have 10, 15, 5 years. Even if you have 5 years left, you can begin to do this realignment. If not, they'll leave you behind. And you'll now become a bitter staff that will leave the agency tomorrow and you won't have any good thing to say about the agency. As if she has not been fair to you. You're here. This is one of the fair share portion they're giving to you. This one. This one. So new abilities, experience-based, cultivating character traits. Like I mentioned, if I give someone a mic now, you give the next person. Yeah. Why? Because you've not, I can't talk. I can't, yeah. For how long will we keep doing it? For how long? And most of those things that we do, you may not necessarily get it for yourself. Maybe it's for someone else. So you see how our action and inaction is affecting someone else. I'll give you an example. I used to have this police people attached to the banks and all. So there's this one that is always nice, will greet me. And I used to give him money. So I told the man, I said, we believe in Nigeria that police money is cost. This money that I'm dashing you is my money. It's not cost money. Anytime I give you money, every Friday, come back into the bank and pay it in. Thank God the guard heeded it. When it concerned police, there was just that connection. So they dash our money. So every Friday, when we'll have clothes, they will come. He felt, that pride was there. My madam, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was how they released my motto for me. That act was from me to him. He took it and he said, I said they keep that my account to my dad. Thank you. Payday came. Who benefited? So sometimes you get it. It may not necessarily be you deploying it. It may be for someone else. At least don't deny them. You understand? So I brought it down to his level. And in my insistence, my head will go in, come and pay that thing back, no. And he helped him. Could it be that they help someone in your sphere needs? Maybe it's just that knowledge or information that you let that man into. Your staff may just need, remember we mentioned support. It may just be support that they need from you. I don't want you can do this. I don't want you to be giving me a report like this. So report, you will go down, type it with your phone. And the man will be wondering. By the time he or she does that for 1 month, he becomes proficient in it. You see the children, they type these days. So before you know, because you've told that staff, don't submit report to me in sheet of paper. You've made it compulsory as part of staff improvement. Before you know it, the man will be wondering, I feel type that thing. In no time, it just becomes normal to the person. An approach, an initiative from you to the person. And if you now go a step further, like I mentioned, Excel, you've actually had with someone in IT, please come and teach Mike. It doesn't need to cost you money. Your human relation with the director of that place, and you talk and they come to train everyone. When next you are going for management meeting, you feel that fulfillment that my report today go click, you go deck, things like that. And you can actually celebrate your performance, your productivity amongst yourselves. And within the years that you will be in NDDC, there will be improvement. And by the time you have post, NDDC will be there. It will be. Sooner or later, it will happen. We're praying that God will keep all of us alive to experience that. So, a question? Sorry. No. Where's the mic? Someone has a question.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I would have waited till you finish, but I don't know how it will end. It's regard. I don't know whether we can have that opportunity, or I will be taking us too far, because from your opening comments, the quotes by Steve Jobs and the other that focus on focus the employee rather than the stakeholders. Employees becoming the primary reason of yes, good concepts. Building the capacity of the employee will help you get better results. That's what I understand from this. But in a scenario where the stakeholders, like all the primary stakeholders, like the reasons for your existence, they are why you are even there. They measure your success is measured from your stakeholders. They determine whether you are successful or not. It is a feedback to the society, the feedback to the government, the feedback they give that says you are functioning or you are doing well. So if you remove your eyes on them, I think that will affect the decisions you are even making within your employees. So that I am proposing a balanced situation where your eyes will always be on your stakeholders to get feedback, and then cascade that feedback or use the feedback to now establish your culture or your strategies, so that when you are doing your development plan, you are doing it to meet the need of the stakeholders. So I'm only proposing that we should not downplay on the importance of stakeholders, because the stakeholders can throw up issues that we even dissolve. For instance, this kind of our organizations where people are just appointed and removed. The stakeholders can throw up issues that will even may cause the life of a particular board. So stakeholders are very, very important. We should carry the two side by side. As we are focusing on staff, we should also look at the stakeholders. That's just an input I thought I should bring to us.
Very much, sir. Can anybody respond to that? I don't think on my delivery I kind of separated my presentation from you, employee, from your stakeholder. Did I? I've mentioned shared objective is there, agency goals is there, and I mentioned there's no how you can be going this way, just is going out. Your expression is within where? The agency. We mentioned that even when you feel you are underutilizing where you are, that we believe there's internal, routes within HR that can move you from one place to another. We mentioned that everything is there. Agency, you see it all along.
Okay. Now, in developing your staff, in a situation where you have limited resources from your funding agencies and your staff needs to perform, but you don't have the resources to fund. Okay, let me even go private, like education business, schooling business. The teachers you have in your school, they are below standard, and the courses they need to attend to bring them to speed, they are most times expensive. How will you be able to form that gap, considering the limited resources you have? Thank you.
One of the simplest example I gave, I don't know I mentioned that if there's any knowledge gap or skill gap within your directorate or your department, and you have someone that can feed that need, is to talk to the manager in charge of that person. I don't know if you heard it. Yeah. I mentioned it. So just talk to them to come over to this side. We have a skill need here, and they will help to bridge that gap. I also mentioned that if you are not the knowledgeable ones, there's nothing wrong in doing VN. I don't know if any of you remember that I mentioned that. And put the steps there. That there's a principle called principle of 3. Nothing lengthy. 1, 2, 3. 3 points about that particular skill set. Just push it in and send it to your staff. Let them listen to it. That within the week, engage them even on that, to actually ascertain how well they understood what you've sent to them. And you need to let them know that this skill, we don't have it. We need to get it. I'm the knowledgeable one. 1, 2, 3 steps is how to go about it. I remember I mentioned that, if I'm right. So everything is not necessarily money. I've also mentioned there are a lot of free certification online, that if you close by 4, 5, 6, you probably settle down for the day. And you have free time 7 to 9. I mentioned that in that 2 hours, what are you doing? You can actually articulate all these, needs that you have, skill needs, the gap, and see how you can bridge them. That it may not be for you, it may be for someone else. Are you with me, sir? It may be for someone else. It may be such that for the education thing, it's, you see, everything we offer, you must have this, you must have that. Break it down to bites. Break it down to bites. By the time you talk to find out, okay, I can handle this, he can handle that. Then have a collaboration. Okay, you can handle data, because that's what you guys are working on now. Please, can you come and talk to? And you do that. Okay, I can handle HR, staff that is in HR, staff issues, retention, resolution, and all that. Come and do that. Go into collaboration with people, because nobody knows it all. If you now have to maybe the real the physical, count anything at all, if you break it down into bites, it becomes easily approachable. You can now approach it. What we thought is so gigantic. I mentioned even if you have 5,000 vendors file. Remember that example? That look as if, oh, can we ever get this report done? Or you can call office attendants in your unit, bring out the file from wherever they archive it. First and foremost, let's start with their names. What looks big, we'll break it down. You end up having 10 to 50 per alphabet. Then from there, you'll be able to.
No, the mic is here.
Yeah. Is that okay?
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay, from what I understand from his question, like you said, we are in NDDC now. Tomorrow there will be a post-NDDC. And we have to prepare for post-NDDC. Like he brought up the example of the education sector where you need to have certain certifications, or any other sector. If you have to become professional, if you have to open a business that is professional in nature, you've got to have certain certifications to be accepted or maybe accredited to be able to run the business properly. I think that, well, from what you said, the internet is loaded, so you can begin to start from there and get you get pieces of information that can help you develop that business or the set of people or the set of staff that need it, until you are able to pay for the, there are some certifications, they need certificates.
Yeah.
We need something to show. And for you to get that one that has to show, it may involve an awful amount of money. So I think that if you have to get that one, that you have to get a certificate, but it's good, but you can start from somewhere. Start from not having the certification, but improve yourself until you are able to gain the funds to be able to do the certification that needs the physical evidence of the certification. Well, if you're running any business, there's usually a starting point, and the starting point is not usually properly equipped with everything, experience, funds, and everything, but it's good to start. Once you start, you learn along the lines, you learn the ropes of the business, you'll be able to grow, find out the kind of risk that you can take and the kind of risk you shouldn't take. And as you grow, you'll be able to get more funds. Like the first speaker said, that whenever we are selling anything, we are selling value. So as you sell value along the lines, you'll be getting more funds, more revenue, and you'll be creating more profit. Thank you.
Then let me just speak to that as well. So what we're doing here, knowing ourselves or people that you work with, is also a gold mine. Right? It is. So while you might say, oh, I want to go into this line of business, or I want to go into this kind of development, maybe you want to go for certification that speak directly to the job, or something that you think you will need along the line, and you're the type that fight with everybody in your office. And what you need is with that man. You don't fight everybody, finish for the whole floor. Who is doing who now? So everything doesn't have to be money. It may be that one I would just said, okay, you see that thing? I won't give you anything, no, but if you go to this center, tell them that I sent you. They can enroll you. It doesn't even have to be free. Maybe they will not tell your guy you can pay 2 or 3, 4 times. So the money that you thought was so huge, I go get them. Now they've broken it down for you that you can pay within a quarter. But you will start acquiring that knowledge now. To whose benefit? We mentioned character traits. So if your character is such that is acidic, caustic, that woman just avoid her table, avoid that. Who is doing who? Both NEDC era and post-NEDC, you will suffer. So please, what we're getting is, I pray that it actually transforms us completely. 360. And I also mentioned, it may not necessarily be for you if you think, oh, you are thick. It may be a colleague of yours. It may be someone that, it may even be the people that you're serving, those in advocacy, those that do trainings with youth and women. It may be a particular boy that you have been training and you just feel this guy has the potential, he just needs the opportunity to be able to draw them closer and sell these things to them. Any other question before we? So, sir, does that speak to what you asked, our contribution? So we're here. In order to advance towards a chosen future, there has to be a continuous process of managing one's life, managing the job you're on, and leisure. To someone that said time no day, time day. 24 hours won't turn to 24.5. It won't. Neither will it turn to 25 hours. It won't. So that 2 hours that you have between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m., that is your leisure time. And you have been giving it to Telemundo. Can we begin to look at it as something that will enable you perform more? Something that will help to increase your productivity. It could be an online thing that you would take. It could be, maybe you don't even read. Except reading makes a man. You can decide to go to your agency website and let me take on just familiarize yourself with what the content of that website. So if you live here today, you are in a debate, in a discussion, in a class like this, and their sister agency, you won't just be, you know Amo, but you don't know how to say it. Or you don't even know it. You know it's possible that you don't even know it. But the things are there for you and for every other person to go and check it out. So even in your leisure time, right, you should be able to advance towards your chosen future in investing in managing your leisure time. And there has to be need to establish unambiguous routes for progress. It has to be noticeable. It's not, this, no. It has to be plain. It has to be clear. Even you yourself will know that this route I'm taking is clear. No, I don't even know, Seth. You know that state. You don't muzzle them up. Per time, take them per time. Remember we mentioned that you're actually strategic, partner. So you should be able to know the short, medium, and long-term goals of the agency and be able to see yourself in it. Don't rush it if you don't have to, if you don't have the capacity to. So if yours is locomotive, slow train, no wahala, it will take you there. The snail got to ark that Noah built. And which one is the fastest animal too? They all got there. But at least they had that progression in place. There was that movement and that motion towards the chosen career. So it has to be clear, it has to be concise, it It has to be direct. It has to be known to you. And of course, I've mentioned earlier that it has to be a continuous dedication dedication to the agent. So, sir, you see all along we've mentioned, but our expression, what we're finding is still within, agency, which is our common factor. And I can assure you that when all these things are implemented well, it will result to more driven staff force and all-round agency that everyone will be so proud of, especially now that we are getting into our 25th. And God willing, you all will be part of that story. But whilst they celebrate and roll out the drums in Port Harcourt, in Abuja, or whatever, or their level, what will be on your own level within you? Can it be a gift to yourself that these capabilities, I will go and get them? These, I will allow them to speak out the more. These, I will contribute the more. Oh, I've heard the Hope agenda as our bosses have rolled out. Oh, I've heard the charge that it will be business as usual. Oh, I've heard I need to expand myself. I've heard, remember we mentioned one of the points, okay, it's still there, experience based. And you ought to just come to work. You don't even know the work so well. You don't even know it so well. And when they want to talk about appraisal, promotion, and referrals, you're always at the bottom. So you don't become a bitter staff, either now or post NDDC. Those are things that when we implement them well, we put ourselves more into it, we'll be more driven staff force. And of course, our agency will be the all-round better for it. Now,
just little contribution. As you know, what you're saying, I totally agree with what you're saying. Do your best, go the extra mile, break it down, the 3 points agenda and the rest. So lovely. Like in the public sector, one of the challenges that discourages some people from going that extra mile is the reward system. I think it's something we should also take home. The reward system. Mr. A is doing all the extra effort, putting the this, putting that. Yes, it's good for the person. At the long run, is you. But Mr. B is doing nothing, probably even coming late on a daily basis. But yet, when it's time for a reward, they will not even, the Mr. B that's not doing anything may even be rewarded more than the Mr. A that's even making effort. So such kind of reward system discourages. There's a lopsided. So we must have a proper reward system. We must have a proper system that rewards hard work. That way you see that people are aspiring to do more, to go the extra mile. But when there's nothing, whether you do it or not, you still get promoted, you still get reward, you may even get better reward. It discourages people. So there should be a proper rewarding system to help for proper productivity. And then the stakeholders want to impress will end up doing impressing them better. So that's just an input. Thank you.
So I did a side talk to HR. I hope you're listening. Your reward system. You see, we all know what to do. HR that is not following the ideal thing, they know, whoever they are pleasing. But remember I mentioned, we're interested in you. Because there's no hiding place for a goldfish. They will find you out. If anything doesn't find you out, another system will find you out. We understand. They will find you out. So let's just keep at it. But whilst you can actually fight for your plan, I mentioned if you're underutilized, there are internal mechanisms, drought. Go right, report to them. This is what I have, this is what I can do. But if you've done all that you could do, and Mr. HR still says no, wait for your time. That time will come. And it will come in an amazing way when you least expect it. Somebody can come. It might even be your state. Where are you from, sir? They might decide to say, okay, day of recording. Where are all our sons and daughters? Where are they scattered in Nigerian states? Where are they? Okay, whoever has risen up to assistant director in any agency, and your name will pop up. And your name will pop up. So ADC that felt, you know, be bright at all. You understand? Somebody will be discussing about you. Thank you.
Okay.
HR.
Yes, from my experiences in the commission, I think most times what you're trying to tell us that you build this capacity for yourself after NDDC. You have a lot of time in NDDC because most of us, the work rate is a little bit low. Some people don't have a target setting. They just come to work every day. Those hours you sit in that office, use it to build yourself. I think that's the take home I've heard. Going, because you spend so much time moving from one office to another office, gisting, watching TV. Now there's a new trend in NDT that is encouraging because we have so much doctors now. People go to school. HRO does not stop anybody from going to school. As why it's part-time. Go out, go to UST, go and build yourself up. Don't wait for somebody to tell you to do something because you will hear this word, wait for your time. Now, when you talk about succession planning, now, in NDDC, it doesn't really work that way because the organization structure, culture, does not allow such things. Because there's an issue we need to solve in NDDC. We are not computerized. We still carry files from one place to the other. So, let me stop here, please. Let me drop the mic.
Thank you so much for the excellent work you're doing for us now. For what he has said, I think there is a reason for the analog system of carrying files from one end to another. There is a reason, and that reason will be silent, though. Thank you. So, but from my brother's observation and the analysis that he gave earlier, you actually have some certain people that are doing the work, which he said maybe they do the work, and sometimes those who does not even do the work are better placed or promoted. That's the area that concerns me. In a situation where one is being deprived from doing the job, like when you were talking, you said you can make suggestions. You can bring as many as, sir, this is my idea about this job. This is what I can do. You even brought a proposal. And it's okay, I'll look at it. Then in the next 6 months, you do not see the light of it. How now? Like 2 days ago, no, on Thursday, our director was like, HRO is trying to do away with upper form. That they want to start appraising people based on their performance. So are you not saying that, the competence, are you not saying that those of them that you are not giving jobs, you are not giving responsibilities, will not be promoted? So I now told her, I say, ma, it is an avenue for them to make sure they sideline a lot of people that they do not like. Because if I like your face, I will give you work. And then if I do not like your face, I will not allow you to be promoted. And that is not going to work because I will be on my knees. I will go to the altar and it will not work in Jesus' name. Amen.
We don't agree.
Let me try to correct that notion first. The federal government have developed a new method. Upper form has been erased. You understand? Upper form has been erased. There's a new, it's called MIT. It's a new way of evaluating persons now. And what we in Asia will do, we are going to pick like our desk officers. You will be trained. Now, the other aspect of it is that there's what they call manage your boss. How to interact with your boss. You need to study your boss before you start. And if you always think you are being winch hunted, you can easily ask for redeployment. It is not compulsory you have to be in the directory when you are not performing. Redeployment is part of civil service. You can, not agency, from one directorate to another. You understand? Because you see, you're not comfortable. Yes. You see, another aspect is this. Another aspect is this. I think some of these issues we have is personal issues in terms of in workplaces. Because if your boss sees you are competent in doing something, he will give you to do it always. Now, it's not left for you to train others. But it's when you start keeping those work to yourself. When you start keeping, you want to impress your boss. Yes. Because there are different levels in the office. If your boss cannot see like a manager and go to an officer, he will always pass through that minutes. It is for what they do, for management cadre down, they don't work. What the director means to them, they mean to the officers. That is what we all grew up to. Officers do most of the work up to PM. You understand? But I think sometimes, like I said, it's how to manage your boss. You need to know how to manage your boss because nobody in NDT knows it all. And you get to a level where you can easily be changed. You can easily be moved from one directory to the other. And it's better because you'll be able to learn different. Every day I wake up, my load is just one small load. I wish I would be moved because I need to learn. Because when you start growing up from PM up, you can be an engineer, you can be moved to a directorate to manage that directorate. But when you have this idea, this mindset that because there's something in this office you don't want to move. One day, the Moses that does not, the Pharaoh, that is where the issue comes in. That is where the issue comes in. Because you did not prepare your mind that there are certain level you reach, you can be moved anytime. Especially when you are performing. Now, the other aspect of it is that without being biased, there's this ethnicity tribe stuff that works in NDDC. You understand? It works everywhere. It's in every agency. You understand? And there's this political class too. Who knows who? I am very sure most of us we did not see the adverts of NDDC and went to apply. We were brought in by somebody. There's always the 1% in an organization. You know, there's always the 1% in an organization. Most people even went to that interview, and some of them went home from there, and some became staff. You understand? So I want to encourage us to know that we get trained so that we can assist others too. Because this is an opportunity for us to get trained. This, from morning to now, we keep hearing what to do. But also for the facilitator, I want you people to fashion your topics in the direct link to NDDC. We are not in private sector. Let those topics be something that is directly towards us as staff in NDDC. Paul was talking about for civil service, so that we will know the new trends, what is really happening. All through the list, I didn't see anything about what they call it, scheme of service. What is happening in the civil service rules? Those are things we should be able to know. Yes. Yes.
All right, thank you. I want to end this section because I want to say something I don't want them to stream. So thank you so much for having me. God bless.